Okay, so the Chicago Bears continue to stay busy as they have already added 3 offensive linemen. Well, now they got to add a defensive lineman, right? Dayo Odeyingbo, who was a second-round pick from a couple years back, 4 years back, of course, because now he's a free agent. He tore his, I believe it was his, it was either his ACL or his Achilles, I forget which, but he, ultimately has kind of slowly come back to be. It was his Achilles that he tore back into pre-draft process. He ultimately has kind of slowly had better season after better season. My first reaction to the signing is it does feel a little bit on the high side, right? So the actual details itself right now, there's been some debate as, is this an overpay? Is this a slight overpay? Is this a massive overpay? $48 million for 3 years. So that's $16 million per year, $32 million of it guaranteed. So that's essentially 2 out of the 3 years fully guaranteed. Again, in which years is the guaranteed money is where questions become, but basically you're probably looking at a kind of a 2-year deal with a 3rd-year team option type of thing is a way to look at it for Dayo Odeyingbo, who, so if you look at his sack numbers, which a lot of people like to look at, you might be concerned to see he only had 3 sacks last year, although he did have 8 sacks 2 years ago. If you're a fan of PFF, you see that he is someone who's graded okay when it comes to pass rush stats, not as good when it comes to run defense stats, really. So that's maybe something you look at. As a whole, no matter which way you slice it, no matter what you look at to evaluate your edge rushers, he is not a star edge rusher by any means. He's really, I think, at his best, a solid rotational piece who is maybe going to have to be a number 2 edge rusher with the Bears. He's getting paid like a number 2 edge rusher with the Bears, let's just say that. And with Montez Sweat outside of it, on the other side, who is a number 1 edge rusher, it's not the worst situation in the world, and it is a position of need. So, I think you could argue this is a slight overpay, and I don't think this means you're done at the edge rusher position because, again, you're going to have, there's other snaps to go around, right? Usually your rotational guy will get 500 to 700 snaps, so your number 3 edge rusher, so that might be something they look at, is still adding another player there, but ultimately, they felt okay about what he did in Indianapolis to bring him over here and have him be an effective piece. Is it a slight overpay? I mean, that'll, it remains to be seen, but he is at least an effective player. They're not paying for someone to just be they're not just paying someone to pay someone. You see some of those contracts where it's like they have a position of need and they just pay someone to pay someone. My gut says this feels like a touch of an overpay, and I think I would have rather seen them go maybe with a different edge rusher who's still on the market, who maybe I like more. I wouldn't have hated even going after like a Josh Sweat, who I bet is going to get a lot more than this now, given the way these contracts are going. Again, every contract feels like an overpay, right? Basically, every contract feels that way because of the way the salary cap is shooting up, and because there's a lot of teams that are in need of free agents this free agency period, which is why it's kind of been so crazy so far. But hey, usually to win football games, you need talented players. Adding a talented player can help with that. So yeah, we'll see how well it works out. But those are my thoughts. What are yours? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from ya. And I'll also mention before I head out, I do have a movie channel. If you want to hear me talk about movies, you can check that out. If you don't want just my bad opinions on sports, you want to hear my bad opinions on movies as well, you can check that out. Link is in the description below. But yeah, those are my thoughts. What are yours? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from ya. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.